Hello there. In this video, we'll talk about the situational interview question, tell me about a time you showed creativity in your work. In this video, we'll cover a sneak peek into the mind of the interviewer and why they're asking you this question, what to say when you're answering, and a concrete example of my own experience to get you thinking. So stay tuned. Okay, so why are they asking this? It's to see what creativity in the workplace means to you. Where did you take something to give it a next level of creativity? So something that was otherwise boring, like a presentation or an article or a slide deck, how did you take it from boring to making it creative and beautiful? What have you done that was creative that benefited someone else? So these are the kind of things that they want to hear about. The opposite of creative is a streamlined process. So in specific instructions, steps, there are times and places for this too, and there's nothing wrong with this. But if they're asking you this question about creativity, it means that they want to see what kind of creativity you could bring to this role. So it's a great opportunity to show that off. So here's how you would answer. So normally with these questions, we always answer them by telling a story. It's the best way to answer. So we use the SARI formula. And if you're not familiar, it's SARI. So it stands for situation, action, result, and interesting features. And as you may have heard it before, it's also known as STAR, situation or task, action, result. So you will tell a powerful story that paints a good picture of the situation and how you rose to a challenge and how it ended up in the end. So let's start with an example. So step one is situation. So this is where you set the stage, paint a picture of what's going on. So for example, I was asked to do a presentation for the company on behalf of my department. The other departments did their presentations, and I could see that people would zone out quite frequently, not really be engaged in the presentation. So for the presentation that I was doing, I saw it as an opportunity to get creative, and I used a few different methods. So that's end of step number one. That sets the stage. That's all you need. Step number two is action. So what were the actions that you took and what outcome did they lead to? So continuing on with the example of the presentation, you can say, I decided that including members of the audience was a great way to do this presentation, as people seeing their peers go up in front of everybody was way more interesting than just hearing one person talk to them for a half hour with slides. So I planned out a few activities for people to come up, and I would ask them a few questions. I also played a couple of funny video clips that got people laughing. All were related to the subject matter and made the points I was trying to make in the presentation really well. This was instead of just having death by PowerPoint as the other presenters seemed to nail. So that's the end of two. You'd say the actions that you took. And three, the result. So the result was that you got a very high engagement score on the presentation. Afterwards, everyone rated the value of each department's presentation, and the one that you did was given a score of 4.8 out of 5. And you were even asked if you'd be willing to do the same presentation with a few tweaks at the next user conference. So this was super exciting, and the risk that you took with the creative efforts really paid off. So the presentation was well received, and it was definitely worth it. So step 4 is the bonus of the interesting features. So what can you say to make the story more interesting, highlight anything that you learned? So for this example, was engagement levels are really controllable in a presentation. So by trying out a few different things in a new presentation in front of internal staff members, you were able to see what worked really well. Then you can apply those same techniques for doing customer presentations later on, and you're even going to get more opportunities because of the creative risks that you took with this particular presentation. And there you have it. Can you think of a time when you had an opportunity to be really creative with something that otherwise would have just been really vanilla and just boring? How did you feel afterwards, and how did it go? Thank you so much for watching. And remember that nailing the interview questions is great, but there is a lot more to interviewing than just answering the questions. In fact, if all you do is answer the questions, you have already lost the interview. There is an entire interview strategy at play, and it starts with preparing for the answers for the questions, but there is a lot more to it. If you'd like to learn more, you can get started right away with instant access to the ultimate guide to behavioral interviewing. What you'll get in this guide is the step-by-step breakdown of the SARI formula and why it works so well, including an example. You will get 10 step-by-step broken down examples of the most common interview questions for behavioral and situational questions. You will also get fill-in-the-blank templates for each of those questions. So all you need to do is fill in the blanks with your own stories. And if you're still getting stuck, because preparing for these is tough, I've also included 25 questions that you can ask yourself to come up with your own stories much faster and more effectively. All this comes up in a beautifully designed workbook, and you can download it right away when you click the link below. And I hope to see you on the other side. Thanks so much for watching.